we are back inside City Hall. A few months ago, we were joined by Janice Schachter and her daughter Ariel, who is hard of hearing, and told us about their fight to make the world more open to members, if you will, of the hard of hearing community. Well, this Friday, Janice and other mothers whose children are battling serious health issues are joining forces for an event called Fighter Mom Friday. We welcome back Janice and Ariel, along with 15-year-old Lacey Tompkins and her mother, Kathy. It's so nice to see the four of you tonight. And I have to say, Janice, since the last time we've seen you, you have appeared, we're looking at it there, in People magazine, a champion for the hard of hearing, along with your daughter, Ariel. And I want you two to stand by for just 1 second. And I want to start with you, Kathy. And tell me, first of all, what is this group all about? And tell me about your daughter, and we'll talk to her.
Sure. On Friday, we're having a meeting to empower mothers with, for children with all diseases and all kinds of medical conditions. It's called Fighter Mom Friday. It was born out of a group of parents that have been fighting Lacey's disease, which is spinal muscular atrophy. So it was a grassroots movement, and we've been fundraising and helping do and advocating for our children for many years. And so we went and we partnered with the Toy Industry Foundation, who's sponsoring this event on Friday. And we've decided to invite moms from across all different diseases to come together and empower them really and teach them how to advocate for their children based on the work that we've done in the last decade.
Now, Lacey, what school do you attend?
The Chapin School.
And are you proud of your mom? What do you think about your mom for taking on these battles, if you will, for yourself, but really for so many other young people?
Well, my mother's truly a great inspiration to me because she allows me to see how I can become independent and how to advocate for myself as I grow older and to help myself get around and be able to live my life as happy as the way I want to.
It's fantastic. And now I turn to you, Janice. And before I talk to you, I want to take a look at a motto, if you will, for your organization, in which it says, a fighter mom is any mom fighting any childhood health order, a health issue or disorder. A fighter mom is a mom who will go to the ends of the earth for her child. Now, I have to say, I met you at a function, and anyone that comes in contact with you, you are very, what's the exact word I want to, you're very good at making the case for the issue affecting your daughter and other children throughout the world. Why have you decided to be so active on this?
I had no choice. As I had mentioned, we could live a socially isolated life. And if you live in New York, it's impossible not to go to the theater, the museums, go on a cruise ship, watch television, talk on a cell phone. And our life became isolated. And if the technology didn't exist, it would be one thing. But the technology did exist. And it was just a lack of understanding and ignorance. And I thought, well, this isn't that hard. When you have, bright children, how do you hold them back? The girls go to school together. And
really?
they're incredible girls. And how do you tell someone who's really smart, who's aware of what's going on? You can't go to the theater, you can't go to the movie, you can't talk on a cell phone? It just seemed ridiculous. So I had no choice. It wasn't like I set out and I said, I'm going to fix this. It was basically I fixed each problem, and the next thing I knew, I was running a program, but I had no choice. If I don't do this, who's going to? And that's part of what the program is. When your definition of a mom has to expand when you have a child with a disease or a disability, you may have not set out that way, but you don't have a choice. It's no different than fighting for your child's education. You have to fight for their life, and you have to do what it takes to get it done. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're hoping to inspire other moms.
You know what I find remarkable about you? You are a living testament to what I have found, that one person that's determined and has the heart, they can change the entire world. And you have other moms that are around you. But I really don't think the audience understands. You have taken on, and before I continue with you, who is this cute little bear here? What is this bear?
All right, this little bear is it's the hearing access bear, but the really special thing is he wears hearing aids, and you can get them for $2, but it's a normal animal. It's a normal toy that I could play with, or anybody could, and it's just normal, and it makes hearing loss or anything just seemed normal.
And it was great. This was done by Build-A-Bear, and I approached Maxine Clark, who's the chairwoman of Build-A-Bear, the chief bear, and she was amazing. I said to her, you know, every child wants to be able to be like everyone else and go into a store and be a human being. No special catalogs, no special stores. And I said, can you do this? And she said, walk with me and talk fast. And we know I can talk fast. So I did that. And the next thing I knew, they came up with this prototype. And it's amazing that Maxine, she got it. That's the way corporations should be running. It's not that how many millions are we going to sell. It's appropriate to do for a business decision, and maybe they sell thousands, but they said this was the right thing for them to do as a corporation.
Now, and I'm coming back to you, Kathy, in just 1 second, but one person, you know, pushing, but a bunch of mothers, but pushing to change the world.
But
What
remember, there's a lot of
companies-
people with me. It's
Of
not,
course.
it's
No,
not
no,
just
and you
me.
and you made that point the last time you were here, that there were others with you. But you have been very public about this. What companies, just quickly, major companies, have you forced them or they've been willing to work with you to change their policies as it relates to people that may have a hard time hearing?
Well, we've worked with Disney, Kennard, Royal Caribbean, Apple. We'd like Apple to do more. We'd like the stores to be accessible so that when you go to the Genius Bar, everyone can hear. But they have now made their iTunes videos to have captioning, which is remarkable. You know, those are just a few, and we'd like to see companies like HSBC Banks have the same access that they have in London. I'd like to see Walmart, who has access in London, have the same access here. You know, just because the law is not clear and says you have to have it, it's a good business decision as we have aging boomers. This is the right thing to do. Let's stop worrying what the ADA says you have to do. Let's do what people need. And I think if we start viewing people with disabilities that way, what can we do as a good customer service? I think companies will start doing more, and I'd like to see companies do that.
Kathy, just briefly, what happened with Lacey's health? And then I want to talk about your life for a second.
Well, Lacey has a degenerative neuromuscular disease. She used to be able to walk. She was no longer able to walk when she was in about 3rd grade. And so we have been, for the last 15 years, battling this disease. And again, there are many, many families that in the last decade I have met all across this country with all kinds of neuromuscular diseases and other things. I mean, there are 10 million children in America that have disabilities of all sorts in their
One more
homes.
time. You said 10 million?
Yes, yes. 10,000, I'm sorry, 10,000.
Okay.
But there are so many children that are affected by different diseases. And what we're really trying to do with this Spider Mom program is to unite everybody, because your normal is different from a healthy family's normal, no matter what disease it is or whatever health impairment it is. And I think that this is about a very positive, empowering day, a day when we're telling people that you can do things like what this family has done.
On Friday.
Yes, and give them a prototype and a manual with real-world results and a how-to. Take on whatever it is, if it's cancer, if it's vision, if it's hearing, if it's neuromuscular diseases. I think it's about what we can do and what we have done, and in a very positive and upbeat thing. And I think it helps the children also to live their life to the fullest, no matter what is holding them back, physical, mental, whatever it might be. Autism, everything. I mean, I think there's lots of challenges out there for all mothers, and that's what we hope to accomplish on Friday.
I'm curious. 2 questions here. Number one, for whenever we do these types of segments, we receive a large reaction from the public, positive, and folks want to get involved. So if a mother, and you have no idea how many mothers I meet out at public events, and they remind me of you in terms of they come up and they say, we need you to focus on this. And I go, okay, we will. And they basically shake me and go, no, you don't understand. We need you to focus on this. And then they keep doing it. So the point I'm trying to make is that for anyone that wants to get involved, what should they do?
I think the first thing to do is, you know, develop where it's important for you. It's hard to focus on all over the place. Focus what's the most critical. So for us, as I had mentioned, we started with the temple where Ariel went to religious school. But it could be the museum your child's going on a school trip, let's say for hearing loss.
But with Friday's event, if they want to get involved with Friday's
Oh, come to the event, call.
It's free.
It's free.
As we said, the toy industry is sponsoring this. They just can sign up online. It's called FighterMom, fightermom.org. And it's at the Palace Hotel in Midtown. We'd love to have as many people as possible there. And they will learn there how to, from a grassroots perspective.
From 8 to 5?
Yes, the entire day. And
And we're
they'll
looking at your
and
website now. And what is going to happen on Friday?
There'll be panelists from all different advocacy groups telling them the different steps to take, whether it's with education, whether it's your congressman, whatever it might be, with your school, with your landlord, whatever issues come up, telling you how you go and what steps you should do to strategize to accomplish some of the things we all will need to do.
The second question I was going to ask, and then I'm going to turn to the young ladies. How will you be celebrating Sunday's Mother's Day? Your super moms? How will you celebrate Mother's Day?
With our families, of course.
Without a doubt, with the children. I mean, that's the best way.
What does Mother's Day mean to you two young ladies?
It's really a day to honor my mother, to really say thank you. You know what? You've really done so much great work for me. It's really just a day to give back to them.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Yeah.
in bed, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great way for me to show my mom how grateful I am for all that she does and for all the empowerment that she gives me throughout my life to do to help myself do what I want.
When you say empowerment, what do you mean? What exactly does your mother give you in terms of spirit?
She inspires me to try as hard as I can to fight for what I want to do and be. And I'm grateful to her and to all the mothers that are able to help their children accomplish their goals. So even like Ariel's mother and every mother out there who will attend Fighter Mom Friday.
What is the biggest point that you ladies would like to get across to the public?
I would like people to know that moms always think they can't do it, and people will always come up to me and say, I can't do this. But one of the things that I find, all moms are always juggling a hectic schedule between all the kids' activities, their own personal family. You're already managing all of this. And if you take those same skills that you apply to your family, of managing the family, keeping track of everything, you can take those same skills and apply this to affecting change. And that's what I'm going to be speaking about, how, the steps that you could do that.
But see, you're making this, both of you, sound very simple. What makes a person go from, if you will, being a regular person to challenging a conglomerate company and forcing them to change their policies to make life easier for people?
Loving your child. Very simple. Loving your child and seeing the potential in them and realizing that artificial barriers don't have to be there. And if you care about your child, you're not going to care about what people think about you. And you're going to push forward and realize the head of a corporation is just a person like you. And you start with a no, you have nothing to lose.
And I just think there are so many possibilities, and the world is, children come with all different, aptitudes. And I think today, more than any other day, that we lived in with technology and everything available to us, you sit down, it of course changes your life, and you think about, what do we do now? What are the steps we have to take to get through this in a positive way? And it's step by step, milestone by milestone in their lives, from when they're children to when they're older, from their little babies. And it's not as difficult. What it requires passion, it requires commitment and organization. But I have met women all over this country there's no one with greater passion and conviction than a mom. And I think we can all say that. We all have moms. And you'll do anything and go to the ends of the earth, and it is easier today. There's so much available technologically to help us get across the message to so many people.
You know what, unfortunately, I'm out of time, but I would like to extend an invitation for the four of you to please come back in the very near future, because I would like to sit down and to fully discuss the organization, the challenges that you face, and obviously you've done a great job of knocking over those barriers to benefit thousands of people around the world. So thank you, and happy Mother's Day to both of you. And you young ladies, you're fantastic, and just keep going forward and don't ever let anybody stop you. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
And does the bear have a name?
Oh, we just put the cup. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does the bear have a name?
No, we should give him a name.
I named him.
What'd you name?
Barry the hearing loss bear.
Barry the hearing loss bear? I like that. Hi, Mary. If I don't wrap up the segment, our producers are going to kill me, so I do have to take a break. Ladies, again, thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
happy
Thank you.
Mother's Day. We really hope you enjoy it. Young ladies, thank you, and good luck to you. It is now time for a break, and with Barry the Bear, I will be back with the results of tonight's Snap Poll. Don't go away.
This is the New York Living Health and Fitness Report. We live in a noisy town, and that makes it difficult for those with hearing problems to get around. But there is a high-tech solution being tested in the subway system that could be a major game changer for those with hearing aids. New York 1 Health and Fitness reporter Kafi Drexel has details.
59th Street for the orange race.
Directions from a station agent used to be nearly impossible to understand for 17-year-old Ariel Schachter, who has severe hearing loss.
It would kind of be like I knew sound was happening, but it's like a silent movie where everything's going on and you don't understand it, and except when someone gives you a little hint.
But that silent world is becoming audible with the introduction of a device called the Hearing Loop into more public spaces throughout the 5 boroughs. And now, in large part due to the work of her mom, Janice Schachter-Lentz, who runs the advocacy group Hearing Access Program, it's in more than 400 subway booths around the city.
We know that there are 36 million people with some form of hearing loss, and we know that number is growing.
The technology, also known as an induction loop, is already common in some European countries. The loops placed around the perimeter of a room or window send out electromagnetic signals that can jump to a receiver called a telecoil or T-coil, already in most hearing aids or cochlear implants. When the T-coil is switched on, it picks up only what comes through a microphone or loudspeaker and cancels out the background noise. The $13.5 million Subway Hearing Loop project is the largest in the country.
Induction loops were a federal stimulus project. It was a project that we were considering and had completely designed, and so the money came directly from the federal government.
Advocates say the technology is so advanced that the sound can actually come across more clearly than what those of us without any hearing loss might normally hear.
It's gaining attention now, but it's not even new. I seem to recall back 25 years, all hearing aids had T-coils on them. You used it for the telephone. Nobody talked about it to put this infrastructure in. Looping systems where it can actually do some good aside from just hearing on a phone or sitting in a looped room. To finally literally get light shown on this, it's enormous.
Kafi Drexel, New York 1.